am so excited for this video. This one is a little bit diferente. We're talking about some stuff that we haven't gotten into on this channel, so I'm excited to hear your thoughts, hear your opinions. So this is a video that I haven't really filmed before, which I'm excited about, but I'm kind of just gonna talk to you like I would talk to my bestie. I recognize that my opinion is coming from my one very limited worldview. I've lived one life. I'm still currently living it. Also, since I am talking to you like my bestie, there may be some times where I say something like, when everybody does this or when girls do that, and I don't want to generalize. Anyways, I hope you grabbed your popcorn because this video is a long one, long enough to do 12 through 32, just saying. Y vámonos. So, without further ado, can we talk about how fucking fake Instagram and social media and like everything is these days, and what kind of pressure it puts on us, and what type of unrealistic expectations it's making everybody live with, and kind of fueling unhappiness and jealousy and comparison. Yeah, let's just dive right in. So the first thing that I want to talk about in the sphere of social media is comparison. I compare myself to girls on Instagram nonstop. And I wish it was something that I was better about. I wish it was something that I had a little bit more awareness and self-control over. And as aware as I am, it's hard for me not to do it. You obviously don't need me to tell you that Instagram is a highlight reel. I feel like we're all very aware of this. It's common knowledge, but yet when you're scrolling through the feed, it's hard to remember that. You know, it's hard to be like, I'm fully aware that this is just a highlight reel and this isn't what the person's life is actually like, because when you're sitting there on your phone, all you're seeing is what you're seeing, and it can kind of feel like everybody's lives are just perfect and happy, and it's easy to forget that things are curated. And obviously, if somebody's having the worst day ever, or a fight with their boyfriend, or failed a test, or whatever the case may be, it's not going to be the first thing that they're going to want to go throw up on Instagram as an in-feed. You know what I'm saying? And I know, like, you're probably thinking, or you might be thinking, well, you literally are an influencer, so who are you to talk? It could come across as hypocritical, and I guess my point is like, just because I do this doesn't mean I am not the same when it comes to comparing myself to literally everyone. And kind of just like, yeah, I'm trying to gather what I have to say here, but I feel like I'm constantly comparing myself and my life to everybody else's. Sometimes I feel like half of this shit that we do sometimes, or me, again, I'm not trying to generalize, I'm saying like people, me, your sister, I don't know, but I feel like half the time it's hard to even differentiate in the moment. Like, am I getting this outfit because I actually can't wait to wear it to this party so that all my best friends see how good of style I have, or am I buying this so that I could get a good Instagram in it? And like, literally 9 times out of 10, when I'm buying anything when it comes to clothes, like, first thought in my head is, I'm gonna get a picture of this on Instagram, I'm gonna style it this way for Instagram. Like, honestly, it has taken kind of the priority in my headspace when I'm shopping or buying things, like what the picture's gonna look like versus what I'm gonna look like at the actual event, which is kind of sad. But again, I feel like it's better if you hear someone like me talking about this, because maybe it takes off some pressure from you. Maybe you're gonna feel less alone. Maybe you're just gonna fucking judge me. I don't know. Let's talk about the physical comparison when it comes to people on Instagram. I don't know what your explore page looks like, but my explore page is, well, it's a lot of nail inspo, to be honest. It's a lot of nail inspo. And then it's a lot of like fun things to do around my city, cool places to travel. But a big bulk of my explore page is these perfect people, like these girls that just look so perfect. And I feel like I have a pretty good radar to kind of see through like edited photos. Like, I feel like I'm a little bit aware, and I can tell when things are overly edited or hyper edited. But sometimes these people on my explore page, like, you can't tell. Like, I personally can't tell, like, is this like completely Facetune, or is this actually what this person looks like? And it's easy to compare like little things when it comes to body, hair, skin, nails, outfit, everything, honestly, on that explore page. Like my explore page is literally filled with people that do their makeup better than me, people that have a better body than me, people that have a bigger house than me, people that just kind of like have it all. And it feels like this explore page is just this land of people that have it all perfect and all figured out. And it doesn't feel like what real life is to me, because I hang out with real people and I know real people, and real life feels like real life. But yet Instagram and the explore page, and maybe it's the people that I'm following, which again I have control over, but maybe it's people that I'm following, it feels so perfect, and it's so easy for me to compare myself to them and think, should I be doing this way? Should I be doing that way, you know? And likes and follower counts and clout. It's almost like we have this electronic representation of how important we are, or at least that's how it feels to me sometimes. Like the follower count, the like ratio, the engagement and the activity performance, like all these words and all these metrics and all these stats and ways to tell if our content is performing and how large of a platform we have. I feel like it's almost a mountain with no top. So again, like this is from my POV. I literally do this. So on like where I'm at, I could just give you a little insight if you're curious. Like I will sit there and compare how my YouTube videos perform to all the other girls that are kind of like in my similar genre. Like I wish I didn't. Like I wish I could just make content that I felt passionate about and post it and not worry about how is it performing in the first hour? What does my YouTube studio tell me on the back end? It literally, when you go onto the back end of your YouTube channel, it'll tell you in like a day, ranked 1 to 10, the video that you just posted, whether it's number 1 or whether it's number 10, and it'll just like score it for you. Like your video did 8th on the list this month, so your video sucks. Like no one cares about it. But yeah, like so I constantly, I feel like, check my metrics against people in the same genre. Like all the YouTube girls, like if I post a video, I'm literally going on all their channels, looking at what videos are they posting. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, this one's performing better than mine. Oh, their channel's more popping than mine right now. They're blah, blah, blah. And it's like half of my brain tells me like, this is okay. You kind of have to do this to like gauge where you're at and to get ideas and to get inspired and to like see where you are and have a metric. But then the other half of me is like, fuck, why can't I just do something and enjoy it and like not care? But I don't know. I just feel like with the constant metrics for every single thing that goes up on the internet, whether it be a TikTok, an Instagram story, or YouTube video, like there's all these analytics and all these numbers, and it's hard for me to not think about them and compare myself to other people who also do this for a living, that are also around my same age, that also make similar content, because I don't want to feel like I don't know, I guess I want to know that I'm doing good. I want to be validated by these numbers, and it's almost hard to gauge like, do I feel validated because this video made a positive impact on my audience? Do I think people smiled? Do I think people gained some cool new information, or am I basing my success based off of the numbers? And I try in my morning meditations, I'll try to, you know, meditate on these videos are going to have a positive influence and uplift girls, and then I read the comments. And I would say, like, I don't want to dramatize this too much. There is some real fulfillment that I get out of doing this. The comments that I get, the messages that I get, the people that I meet that literally tell me like, oh, this impacted me in XYZ way and I'm better because of XYZ. And that feels so good. But even those moments, those genuine, raw, organic, authentic moments, as much as I wish kept me going, I still compare myself with the numbers nonstop. Hi, editing me here. But the point that I'm trying to get at here is, yes, I'm coming from my like influencer point of view. Ew, cringe at that word. But what I'm trying to get at is most of my girlfriends that are in high school or college or are working gals, like they all know how many likes they're getting on Instagram. They could probably tell me off the top of their head about how many comments they get and how many more likes the popular girl in the sorority gets, or the popular girl in school gets. And I feel like if we all were asked and could wave a magic wand, like, do you want 1,000 more likes per post? feel like we'd all say yes. So that was just my point. Okay, bye. I think too, with these numbers being at the forefront of a lot of these things, it can incentivize toxic behaviors. Like if I'm posting a picture in a bikini and it performs way better than all of my other content, I feel like I'm more likely to kind of want to do that again. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with posting a picture in a bikini. I literally do it all the time. But what I'm saying is sometimes I have to check in with myself and be like, why do I actually want to post this picture today of me in this bikini? Is it because the background's sick and I'm on vacation and I'm in Cabo and I'm just in my bikini coincidentally? Or do I know that my body is going to get me a lot of likes? And I feel like this, for especially young girls, can really just incentivize toxic behavior. Like what if an 18-year-old girl, for example, is face-tuning the fuck out of herself and she posts the picture and that's what gets the most likes? It's hard as the user to not let that influence and affect your behavior and start catching on to these patterns and participating in these patterns that are toxic to both parties involved, to the person themselves who's editing themselves and now holding themselves to an unrealistic standard, and then to the people that follow them thinking that's what they look like in real life. Now, I've heard this a couple times and I do have to do a fact check. I'll put whatever research I find on the screen, I guess, but I've heard that kindergartners that get polled on what they want to be in life, they say that they want to be YouTubers or influencers, and I get that. Obviously, hello, this is what I do. If you don't know anything about me, I have been on the internet since I was 15 years old. Like I was literally a Viner. So I have been an influencer, whatever you want to call it, since I was 15. So if anything, yeah, I obviously understand the appeal of children wanting to do this when they get older, because to the audience, it could look like, I'm just going to talk about me because I don't want to generalize other people. I'm really trying to avoid that in this video, but it's like hard, to be honest. So I'll just talk about me. I feel like if you're watching my channel or if you're a viewer of my channel, my life may seem so perfect because it might just seem like all I do is get free clothes, play around with clothes, work out, film it, be myself, and get paid a lot of money, and that's my job. Easy, breezy, beautiful. Not a random CoverGirl reference. Imagine this video is sponsored by CoverGirl. I'm like, thank you, CoverGirl, for sponsoring this video. No, but I feel like it could be very easy to believe that influencers' lives are these perfect lives, and now every kid just kind of wants to be one. And I think that is dangerous. I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me in ways that I probably can't articulate right now the best. I'm like trying to talk about why this is not a good thing, but then I keep thinking like, am I a hypocrite? This is literally what I do for my job. I think I'm figuring out like what I'm trying to say. So what I think happens is when you have a bunch of kids that grow up looking up to influencers like I did, and like I'm sure a lot of you do too, is you kind of want to have that for yourself and do that in life too, or at least shoot your shot. Like obviously, why not shoot your shot? I encourage everybody to shoot their shot. And if anybody wants to be an influencer, I always tell them like, try it, go for it. What's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is that you don't pop off, but at least you tried it. So I'm not trying to make people feel bad about, you know, wanting to be an influencer. But what I do think is damaging overall is when everybody kind of wants to be an influencer, what's going to happen is everybody's Instagram pages are going to be this perfectly curated brand of a person. And I feel like a lot of people on Instagram now are seeing themselves as a brand or as this idealistic version of themselves or as almost the influencer version of themselves. And they're really just like regular people, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like I also too am a regular ass bitch, but because I consider myself an influencer, I do the most when it comes to my Instagram. Like I have a professional makeup artist come to my house and we do these shoot days where I get these outfits that I bought strictly for Instagram pictures, and she'll come and we'll do glam and we will purposefully take pictures that make it look like they were taken on different days, and we'll drive around the block to like slightly different locations and try to get this calculated shoot day to look like I'm just living my life organically, flawlessly, in all these cool little clothes, like doing all these amazing fun things. Sometimes when I get an outfit that I'm excited for to wear to an actual life event, I feel like I have to make another day out of shooting the outfits so that I can enjoy myself when I'm in said outfit. So let's say I get a new bikini, I'm gonna shoot it first at home, perfect angles, perfect makeup, perfect hair, so that I can then go enjoy my trip and not have to worry about like shooting the bathing suit on the trip. Like, do you know what I mean? And the funny thing is I don't even think that's an influencer thing anyways. Maybe I was just like bred for this shit. But when I was in middle school, me and all my group of friends, all our parents, we asked for Christmas to get the big Canon 80D or 90D or whatever it was at the time, so we could take photo shoots of each other for Facebook. And we would go and we would have these full-blown days where we would shoot each other and get our profile pictures, and the goal was to get 100 likes on Facebook, and I would always have 100 likes on my profile picture. We'd go, we'd take these photo shoots, and it's like, what? Like, that was me in middle school. I can't even imagine the people that are in middle school now, like the girls that are in middle school now watching these TikToker girls and these Instagram girls. Like, I could just literally only imagine the pressure that it is to do all these photo shoots for Instagram. Like, oh my God. Hi, so what I'm trying to get at here is if everybody wants to be an influencer, everybody sees influencers' pages as the blueprint, then everybody's posting their perfect lives. Everyone looks perfect. Everyone's unhappy with themselves because they're not as perfect, and it just keeps this cycle. Now, I do want to give myself some credit. I really do, because a lot of what I document in my life is authentic and is real, and I hope that as a viewer you can sense that, and I hope that I don't just come off as a load of garbage. But yeah, a lot of what I post is real and a lot of what I post is true, but sometimes I feel like I have some self-identity crisis going on. Like, sometimes it'll literally keep me up at night. Like, I will want to be more like the version of myself that is online, and that is so sad to say out loud. Hi, emotional feelings, how are you? But sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's hard for me to even compartmentalize in my own brain and in my own life, like who I am as a person and who my online persona is. And sometimes it can feel like we're the same bitch, and sometimes I could feel so distant from her. And a lot of the times, like for example, when I'm vlogging, a lot of the times I'll have a shitty day, I'll be in a shitty mood, and I'll be pissy, I might be bitchy, I might be PMSing, and those are all gonna be the times that I don't pick up the camera. And it does come from fears that people are gonna judge me, people are gonna say I'm a bitch, people are gonna say that I complain. So I tend to pick up the camera when I'm happy, and pick up the camera when I'm feeling optimistic, and when I'm doing things that are positive and are gonna have a good impact on the people that are watching them, which is obviously great, and I try to be responsible. And I don't think that I have this perspective because I'm an influencer. I see it with all my friends, all my female friends. I don't see them posting the lows. I don't see them, you know, going out of their way to post pictures where they look like shit. I mean, obviously, like, no one's gonna like it. Everyone's gonna be like, okay, I mean, go off, but that's not what we're used to seeing, you know? So it's weird. It's a weird, yeah, it's weird. Thank you. I lived in LA for like 5 years, and then when I made this move to Arizona, I had a lot of expectations, I feel like, and I kept blaming LA, at least internally to myself. I'd be like, well, the reason that all these girls are perfect and so hot and have these perfect lives are because I'm in LA and everybody here wants to be an influencer, so all their lives are gonna look perfect on their social media. It's curated, it's their brand, it's their image. I'm gonna move to Arizona and everybody's gonna be normal, which is obviously naive thinking about it. And again, I'm not trying to generalize. When I say normal and everybody, like, please just take my word, I'm not trying to generalize. I'm just speaking. But when I envisioned coming to Arizona, I pictured whatever comes to mind when you picture more just like regular girls, whatever that means, take it with a grain of salt. But I get here and I realize that a lot of the girls here, if not the majority of girls here that I've come across, also have the beautifully curated Instagram feeds, a different outfit in each post, no outfit repeating, aesthetically pleasing, like perfect hair, perfect makeup, perfect outfits. And I'm like, this is not an LA thing. I think you can live in Michigan. I think you can live in Alabama, Louisiana. I know all the states in alphabetical order. Should I just take 30 seconds? I don't think it's an LA thing. I think it's in Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado. Do you remember that song? But yeah, I think it's everywhere. I really think it's everywhere. And I really moved to Arizona thinking, oh, well, that LA influencer type is an LA thing. Tell me why a lot of the girls here, before I meet them, I'm already intimidated by them because their Instagrams are so perfect. Like, I'm not even kidding. I really hope this doesn't come across the wrong way, but in some instances, and I'm just gonna be candid here and say like how I feel like sometimes it's the death of your average girl or the death of your regular person because so many people feel overwhelmingly put together and polished and curated on social media. You know what I mean? So for example, when I go on one of my Cabo vacations, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I am like Cabo's biggest fan. I love that place. But when I go to Cabo, this is what you see from me. Like you see all of this and it looks so perfect and fun and whatever. But what I don't post is me fighting with my boyfriend, packing for 3 days leading up to it, is me stressing out the whole time, is me drinking too much tequila and throwing up for 2 days in a row. And of course I'm not gonna post that because I don't wanna be judged as a bad role model or irresponsible or looked on poorly from brands. And you're not gonna see me in my disheveled airport outfit. You're not gonna see me freaking out that I forgot a charger. You're not gonna see me almost missing the flight. Like you're literally gonna see the curated outfits that I've been planning for a month prior to the trip in very curated little locations. And I swear, half the time, the most annoying part about the vacations that I take is that I feel this pressure that I put onto myself of having to get ready and having to take these pictures and having to make the most out of my vacation and get the shot. Guys, this might come across as this is a me thing, like it's just me, but every friend that I have, like non-influencer friend on vacation is really prioritizing and trying to get the good pics and trying to get the most aesthetically pleasing and poppin' Instagram stories. And they tell me, like my friends literally tell me that there's this pressure on vacation to get all the shots. And if you're gonna be somewhere for a limited amount of time, you have one chance to pop off. So I feel like this pressure is not just a me thing because my friends have literally told me this and I've traveled with them and I've seen it firsthand. It's a mountain with no top. So Facetune, again, maybe I just have a very niche bubble of people that I surround myself with, but I promise, like I have diverse people that I'm around. I promise, like I have friends of different ages. I have friends of different backgrounds. I have friends who grew up in completely different places. I have friends whose families immigrated here from different places. Like I have well-rounded friends, and I would say out of the girls that I hang out with, 9 times out of 10, every single one of them uses Facetune before uploading literally anything onto the Instagram feed. And I am not exempt from that. And I feel like it's something that I haven't spoken about out of embarrassment and fear of being judged. But I Facetune literally probably every picture that goes on my account. Literally almost every picture that goes onto my Instagram has been ran through the Facetune app. Now I could sit here and excuse myself and be like, oh, well, I do it really, really minimally, and I do it to whiten the walls, and I'll just bring my arm in a little, and I'll just bring my eyes up a little. But that's always how it starts, you know? Like I'll always tell myself, or the way that I'll justify it when I'm doing it is I'll be like, well, the reason that me, because I'm special and the exception, the reason that I can Facetune every picture is because I do it so subtly that it's basically undetectable and it's basically exactly how I look in real life anyways, so what's the harm? But I feel like the harm in that is that I've never said that on camera. And I feel like that is where the lines start to get blurred and the inauthenticity starts being harder to spot. Because you could probably comment on this video and say, you know what, Lauren, I followed you and the impression that you gave me was that you're one of the real YouTubers. You're one of the real influencers. And I never would have expected you to be one of the Facetuner influencers. And the tea is, I am. And I just think it needs to be talked about more. I really do. And I think there's a big issue with the extreme face tuning, both on the receiving end of the people looking at the content and the end of the person extremely face tuning. I mean, when you see yourself all morphed and perfect in your eyes, it's easy to A, think that's how you look and be in denial, or B, really want to look like that when you don't. And C, not the bullet points, not the A, B, C. Like, what is this? Like a final paper? But see, it's like to the people following you, they're not gonna, like, most of the people that I follow on Instagram, I've never met in real life. And that's how they look to me. That's how they look in my eyes. So I can only imagine to your average viewer who's never met these influencers or never seen them in real life, you're gonna take that as fact. And you know, I don't know. I guess awareness here is the best thing for us. I think the more that we become aware to this, the more the veil gets undone. I'm trying to speak eloquently and I obviously don't have any idea what I'm talking about. Okay, as I'm watching this back, I just don't want to leave you with the wrong impression that like I Facetune myself intensely, because I really don't, and I don't want to dramatize this and leave you with the impression of me that like just isn't true. But what I've realized is I will run a lot of my pictures through that app and kind of like justify it and be like, well, I'm only taking out a smudge on the wall and I'm only taking out the wrinkles on my shirt. But I feel like this new awareness that I have could potentially lead to me doing less of that and that being totally okay and cool. And again, I think with this conversation of the whole Facetune thing, our best friend is awareness, just awareness. And yeah, I'm rambling. Bye. Back to the regularly scheduled programming. From personal experience, when I film my vlogs without makeup, and I film my vlogs right when I wake up, in the moment when I'm editing them or when I'm watching them for the first time, I'm not gonna lie, I feel uncomfortable. It feels awkward to post videos of myself where I look like myself. And it's easy for me to watch the videos and be like, oh, I look ugly in that, when that's literally just my face. And I sometimes have to, you know, remind myself like, this is what you look like, and you should be happy and grateful for bitch, that's how you look. Like, accept it and move on. Like, keep it moving, keep it stepping. You're your own worst critic, and everything you upload doesn't need to be this fake, overly edited, over thought about situation. And what I will say to any influencers that are watching this, it does feel really liberating. I love that I have videos on my channel where I just woke up and where my hair's a mess and where I look like myself. I love that. It gives me so much feeling of freedom. It makes me feel so good about myself, and it makes me feel like I genuinely am a better influence. Like, really, when I watch people that do similar content to me and they're vlogging without their makeup and without their hair done, it makes me feel better about myself and it makes me feel better about my life. So I try to remind myself of that when I'm making my content too. If you've been following me for years, you may look at me and think, she looks different. I can't put my finger on it, but she looks different. You can contribute it to weight loss. You could think that 12-3-30 made me look completely different. You could contribute it to me growing up. If you're one of the people that met me when I was popular on Vine when I was 15 years old, it's probably easy to assume, oh, she just grew up. Like, she was a teenager with an awkward phase. And there's been a lot of times where I have omitted the truth, and this comes with a lot of reasons and with a lot of baggage, but for me it was never like, oh, I don't want to admit that I have done something because I want people to think I was born with this face. It's actually not that at all, because I personally don't care. I think it's me being scared that if I say, oh, hey guys, this is why I look the way that I do, it's because I did XYZ, I'm scared that it's gonna open young girls' minds to doing things that maybe they hadn't been thinking about before, and kind of be a bad influence in that way. But then I also at the other side of the coin, have to ask myself, well, what is more damaging? Is it more damaging to set an unrealistic expectation because I'm kind of making it seem like I just grew up and this is what I look like now? Or would I be doing more damage if I said I look like this because I did XYZ? And then your regular girl watching is going to be like, oh, I can get that glow up if I do XYZ. I'm going to do it too. So yeah, that's kind of why I haven't been 100% honest in some things, but I feel like this is the perfect time to let you know that I got a nose job, and I probably never would have brought that up. I probably never would have said that on camera because it kind of became easier to let people speculate or not speculate, because who's gonna notice somebody's nose really, and keep going on my merry way. But yeah, I got my nose done, and the first time I got my lips done was when I was 17. Literally when I was 17 years old, which, thinking back to it, I mean, I think 100% the reason why I got them done when I was a child was because of social media. It's not because I was 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, or in middle school looking in the mirror thinking, you know, my lips are too small. When I'm older and when I'm in a more financially stable place, I'm gonna get them done. Fully a decision that I made because of social media. So that's why I guess I don't talk about my nose, because I don't want people watching this to be influenced because of social media, and then it's going to be this endless spiral. You know what I mean? Also, since we're here, what else have I gotten done? I've gotten veneers, and I've gotten my boobs reduced. Everybody knew that one though. And even the veneers, that one was one that I felt so pressured with social media, because everybody had these Hollywood smiles and these gorgeous teeth, and I felt like with braces, with whitening, like no amount of regular orthodontic procedures that I would get, like I felt like my teeth would never look like those celebrities and those influencers. So the second that I'm making my own money doing social media, then I go get my teeth put in, and now I'm smiling in every video and I'm confident, and it's like this endless circle. It's this endless loop and this endless circle. But yeah, it feels good to be honest about that though. Please don't let that influence you to go change up your entire body. Like, please. In conclusion, I feel like social media can sometimes feel like one big popularity contest when it comes to likes, followers, comparing yourself to other people. But I do think social media is awesome. I mean, it's done amazing things for my life. I really do love what I do. I guess what I'm trying to get across is it is a mountain with no top, because as much as I know I deal with these things, I know everybody, and I don't want to generalize, but I know a lot of people deal with the same things too, whether they're influencers, whether they're college students, whether they're high school students, whether they're middle school students, and I bet it's even elementary these days. It just can feel like a popularity contest. All we can really do is keep that in our minds and be gentle on ourselves and be aware of that, and be aware that we can and do have control over what we see on our feeds, who we follow. I am a big fan of the mute button. I'm a big fan of the not interested option on YouTube and on Instagram. I'm a big fan of that. I think it's really healthy for me to avoid following certain people. This is gonna sound really stupid, but I cannot follow Madison Beer on Instagram. I literally refuse to follow her because I will never look like that. And I don't even think her situation is Facetune at all. Like, that's just how she looks. And I won't follow her for that because it is literally not good for my mental health. I love her music, will stand the music all day long, but I can't follow her on Instagram, and I think that's okay. Maybe after watching this video, you think, I can't follow you on Instagram, Lauren, and I will miss you, but I fully understand. You know, I think we have to be aware of who we're following and what we're intaking, because we do have more control than we would like to think. And social media as a whole isn't bad. It's a beautiful thing that connects us and inspires us. The tone of this video is probably super negative, and you're probably like, ew, bitch, but there's a lot of great things that come with it. So I think this is basically all I've got. I hope this makes you feel less alone if you feel like you're comparing yourselves to people or trying to put on an image of somebody that you might not be 100% of the time. Some of the things that make me feel the best are when I post pictures of my straight up acne on Instagram. That makes me feel so good. I don't know what about it, but posting pictures of my acne, vlogging without makeup, and all that unfiltered shit, even though it makes me a little bit uncomfortable at my core because I'm scared that people are going to judge me and think I'm ugly or comment mean things, I swear that's the most liberating thing ever. So yeah, take everything I said with a grain of salt. I'm excited to talk to you about your experiences in the comments. And yeah, let me know if you want more videos like this. I'm happy to make them. I don't know how good this came out. I feel like I was overthinking everything the whole time, but hopefully it did something good. All right. I love you guys. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Don't be fake. Don't be fake.